So you're finally settling comfortably into some sort of like new job or like relationship dynamic in some way to where your mind is not racing so much in regards to this thing. It could have to do with like a routine that you started up like, at the new year or something like that. But it's just giving that something is like locking into where it takes less mental effort for you to maintain something. So if this was like anything that you were trying to make progress in or make a habit, getting that it's like, so this could be predictive. So if you need reassurance that you're on the right path, and you are, okay. But say you were in a new connection and like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's less like 3 or 4 months, but your brain kept going to like, oh, can I trust this? Is this toxic? You know, um, they could leave any day, or like, is this real or am I making this up? And I'm getting that like a quieting of that noise to where you can actually just like feel safe in the connection, and trust that it's just like flowing comfortably, and you don't need to sort of like, I'm seeing like someone, you may be like someone who has developed the like tendency to like, if you see or feel off energy, or you start to like question things too much, then you like run away. And you used to be someone who maybe you used to like grasp onto tightly. um so I'm getting that you may have like switched into the position of like the avoidant, where you used to be like the anxiously attached one. But I'm seeing that some situation is like unfolding so like smoothly and calmly and like consistently to where you're able to just not have to grasp onto it, or and you don't have to run away from it. You can just sort of like exist peacefully within it. um and that's sort of like the alignment that it needed to be in, so you're not resisting it anymore, which is great, obviously. I'm also getting something about like you no longer resisting some form of like authentic expression or something like that. Maybe there was like some sort of epiphany that you had in regards to a truth about your identity or something like that. Or just in the way that you want to present yourself in some way. um and maybe you were like fighting that, like fighting against an inner truth due to, I don't know, fear of like judgment or criticism or scorn, or I don't know. But I'm getting that like you're finally accepting yourself truly, and kind of like resting in the knowing that, the people who don't like you for who you truly are don't really need to, they don't like affect you, like they don't need to be in your life anyway. um and there's likely plenty of people who will absolutely adore you for existing within that true self in some way. So that could be you if you like were wrestling with your like sexuality or gender identity, or just like, you switched aesthetics. um because aesthetics, it really doesn't matter. You should like it, I mean, the like all the cores or whatever, like uh it's nice just for the sake of like um like research and like conceptualizing a mixture of like what sort of visual you want to give off, but you don't need to like um strictly adhere to any sort of category. And I'm getting that there's like some sort of like mental freedom from feeling like you have to stay within any sort of box that at some point was your like safe place, I guess. It's like you were allowing yourself to be in like strategically or like intentionally unstructured in some way. like if, I don't know, it's giving that like you were relaxing your parameters for how you were allowed to show up in the world in some way, like you're just becoming more chill, I guess. And I'm getting that like even if there is some backlash from like old friends or old family or like exes or whatever, like a community you're in or something like that, it's giving that you are in alignment with and like manifesting almost like this year, okay? If you're currently in a community that doesn't accept your like authentic expression in some way, and you have like finally, you've kind of like, you're like standing your ground in regards to you just like existing within your inner truth again, it's like you're coming into alignment with a new community that will be an exact like perfect match for your truest self, right? And so you'll actually like be able to live a life that is emotionally fulfilling, because you would have manifested the energy of like that's actually a match for you, right? Because sometimes we can be miserable and stuff like that because we change ourselves due to, like, I don't know, it just going back to the aesthetic thing. I don't know, so it's like, say you're like in college or something, and then you like want to have a better time and you want to fit in and you want to have more friends, so you may like change your aesthetic or your vibe to suit like a sorority girl type of vibe and stuff like that. And maybe you it works and you get in to a sorority, and you know you like have like friends in that sorority or whatever, and you fit in, but you're still miserable or whatever because that's not actually who you are, and it doesn't feel authentic to you. um you know, because you're real, like people you would like really really actually be close with, and that the people that are actually a match for you, um you're not attracting them because you're like masked in a vibration that doesn't belong to you, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm getting you're finally like coming into your own in some sense, and like your energy is like stabilizing around again that like inner truth, to where you're actually going to be attracting like the people, places, and things that are truly meant for you. And like they're meant for you because they are part of your emotional fulfillment. Like I've seen like the 10 of cups in my head or whatever, um and the tarot, and the whole point of that is that like with complete emotional fulfillment, there's like, I don't know if it's like literally 10, but it's just an example, like, but those each of those 10 cups are like filled with a different form of like emotional fulfillment, right? And so that's like what you're manifesting for yourself this year by being true to yourself, I guess. But yeah, so like you're attracting connections where you don't have to um overly apologize for the way that you naturally show up, you know. If you want to ramble about certain things, you know, you're attracting the friends and like the romantic partners who actually want to hear about your interests and actually care. Um, you know, if you know, you're into gaming or whatever, and like, you know, that's like your main hobby, right? You're attracting like the romantic partner who would actually want to, you know, sit there and like share a save file, and you guys are like trading off the controller, you know, but you're like still doing the experience together, you know what I mean? So it's like you're not needing to change who you are in order to gain like emotional fulfillment. You're just going to encounter the exact people that like fit into who you naturally are, if that makes sense. So you don't have to like change yourself to make a person that you're with happy, right? And this could even look like on the fox one. But this could even look like I don't know, say if you do prefer like a non-traditional sort of relationship, right? You're not going to have to hide that. Like you're just going to be able to be matched up with somebody who like is also okay with that relationship dynamic, because it doesn't have to make sense to other people. It only has to make sense to you and who you're with, and that it's all being done ethically or whatever, right? So you don't have to feel like you are uh like suppressing your true desires, or like settling in some way when it comes to relationship dynamic, because you may have this idea that like, oh, it's unrealistic for me to expect to have this sort of like relationship dynamic. Nobody wants that. Stop like manifesting that, because there is somebody who would be okay with that, and if you just like have the right intentions for it, you know. I'm also getting that like regardless of intention or not, you are going to manifest your true match this year in some way or another. So like if you are in like a lower vibrational energy, you're just going to like meet your match in that sense. And not to say that they are low vibrational, but it's giving like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like that movie where they basically like we're trying to like unalive each other in some parts of it, and then like, you know, but then they would be like all lovey dovey. But so whatever energy you like authentically are and show up in, you are going to meet your match, whether that's good or bad, right? Um, but yeah, so I mean, it should be kind of like freeing to meet your mirror reflection, you know? It's giving like especially even in like friendship dynamics where you're like, you know, I know it's so unlikely, but I would really love a friend that I would be able to do like X, Y, and Z with or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're actually going to like meet that perfect friend who fits into like, you know, oh, if we go so long without texting, they don't think anything is wrong. Or on the other side of that, like, yes, they love texting me constantly, and that we just like doing that.